Hi friends. Today I am trying to do a one shot, one take quick vlog, which is not my forte. But I would like to talk about an aspect of fitness, health, weight, body positivity that I have not spent much time talking about. Probably because I haven't spent a lot of time understanding it until recently. So you can't. Well, I don't know. Let me see. This is my body. This is at last weight a few months ago. The scale said I weighed 196 pounds. I am 5 foot 6 inches tall. I bought some new pants yesterday, and the size 14 was too big, but I didn't have the size 12 because I bought them online. So I don't know if it's just that pant manufacturer or what. But so those are my size schematics to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And that's important, or it helps flesh out the issue, because I am currently in what I have identified as a slim down phase in my weight cycle. I don't know that all people have this. Still researching, still reading. I'm pretty new to even exploring these ideas, but I definitely have times. So I'm 30 years old, and I can see now that since I was 13, I've had cycles of gaining weight and losing weight. And that losing weight, I can now see, is directly tied to my mental health, and specifically tied to when I need help with my mental health. So right now I'm in a very stressful time. I don't know how long it's going to last. I want to say I'm at the end of it. I don't know if that's true though, so I'll just say I'm in it. I work two very stressful jobs. I work two jobs, so that's stressful. So that's just a baseline that will probably already always be there, and I can handle more of that than a lot of people can. I'm high output that way. But I also have a lot of stress going on in my social life. For about 8 months now, there have my closest friends. I have not felt the support that I had previously, and I felt more needs in that group, in that area of my life, because it's not just like one group of people. It's people in other states, people who I know in different ways, but it just has felt like a season of a lot of heartache to the people who are near to me. I'm also involved in multiple court cases that I have nothing to do with, other than I just got pulled into them either as a witness or due to my profession, or because the person who's actually involved in the situation isn't able to access resources on their own, and so I have chosen to step in and help them. So all of that to me makes it very stressful. And then there were extra things like getting in a car wreck, or just fighting with my husband, which is not a steady thing, but it happens. And so I have been managing that stress in a lot of different, really positive ways. And one of the ways that I manage stress is by working out. So currently I elliptical, not run. Runners feel very strongly that if you're on the elliptical, you're not running. So I don't run, I elliptical. And I do that 30 minutes to 65 minutes a day. which causes my body to start to slim down a little bit. I don't know how long it's going to last. I just follow what my body seems to be asking for, and right now my body seems to be asking that I get on that elliptical and just kind of space out and just spend some time just giving it everything I've got, and that starts to manage my anxiety. So like right now I haven't gone to work out yet today, and I can feel it. I can feel my body saying, when are we going to go? When am I going to get that, sort of that like next hit, I guess. So that brings me to the point of what is actually a positive coping skill. That's my dog. She needs some coping skills other than barking. And so here's what I have to propose. That the last time I was in a slim down phase in my life was a few years ago. And what happened is that I started working out all the time, every day, again, for between 30 and 90 minutes a day. Sometimes I would go twice a day. And so I lost weight. I went from about 190 pounds to about 150, and people complimented me all the time, and they said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Just working out. I love it. Just eating healthy, eating clean." I had found out that I was gluten intolerant, and so that helped me, not eat certain things that contribute to me putting on weight. And I was excited, and they were excited, and it was a very supportive system. What I didn't say, what I didn't know at the time, is I was working out primarily because I had a raging, undiagnosed anxiety disorder. So I was in graduate school for professional counseling. I had a lot of personal and professional experience surrounding mental health. So it's not that I was dumb. It's not that I was uninformed. And it's not, as was suggested to me at the time, that I lacked self-awareness. I actually firmly believe I've always been quite self-aware. Even as a child, it was awkward for people who were around me. But instead, it was because I had a really... Hold on. Squeaker. Come on, baby. It's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard that, but she made a really sweet little sound. The reason I could work out so much and so hard and lose 40 or 45 pounds and not think there might be something wrong here is because I was limited by what I currently identify as three main issues. And the first was religious implications of mental health and how we deal with that. So I was surrounded by a community from which I predominantly received the information that, or the idea that to manage mental health, we prayed and we sought God, and that mental health issues were primarily spiritual issues, and so you primarily sought spiritual means of fixing them. The second thing that interfered with me being able to identify that there was a mental health issue at stake. So even though if I had a mental health issue, I would have handled it religiously, there was also the idea that it wasn't really a mental health issue, it was a spiritual issue. There was something going on in my heart, and so I just needed to bring that to Jesus. The second is that I feel there were moral assertions on non-moral issues, and I think this is raging in society today, that the idea that there are certain foods, certain lifestyles of health and fitness and workout that are better. We say, I'm eating well, I'm eating good foods, I'm eating bad foods, these are naughty, I'm having a cheat day. The language that we use suggests working out and being dedicated to certain standards of nutrition are better, are good for you. So I couldn't see, oh, well, I'm working out, but It's because I can't sleep more than 3 hours, and it's because I'm sad, and it's because I'm hurting, and it's because I'm confused, and maybe I really need to see what's causing those things. Instead, I thought working out is good. I'm working out, so I'm doing something good. And that was a bigger idea. That's a huge idea. That's a $60 billion a year industry, the weight loss industry. The third thing that interfered with me seeing that I had a problem that needed addressing in ways, in addition to coping skills, that I needed to not just manage symptoms, but instead address what was causing those symptoms, is societal standards for body acceptance. So I lost weight. I was thinner. At the end, I did have some friends who were close to me, who saw that my hair was falling out, who saw that I got to a point where I just couldn't eat very many foods. And they were like, this is crazy. This is too much. But for the overwhelming majority of the experience of losing weight, people said, way to go, and how did you do this? And, you go to the store and all of the magazines say, lose 15 pounds in 3 weeks. It's not, you're probably sick if that happens. But they don't say that's probably a symptom of sickness in some way. They say, you can do it too. Let me teach you how. So we are taught that losing weight is good, that being thin is good. So I was a better version of myself because I was a smaller version of myself. Or at least that's what so much of the world told me. Now I have the, I would say, slight benefit of coming from a Hispanic background. My mom is Hispanic, my father is white, and a lot of Latin cultures see heft as a good thing. So I did have some family members saying, Maritza, stop losing weight and don't get too thin, and you look beautiful as it is. My grandmother would say, you look good now, but don't lose any more weight, which I think was her way of trying to be really supportive. I think she thought I was too thin at the time, but she was just trying to be really sweet and saying, this is okay, but stop. Nobody outside of the Hispanic part of my family ever said, hey, is there a stopping point? Are you okay? You've lost this weight really quickly, and this is like a big life change, that you've gone from this lifestyle to eating very differently and having a very different activity level. What's your long-term goal? Even some of my closest friends, and I say that not to malign anybody, this is the same mentality to which I ascribed, and I think so many of us are bound by. So all of those frameworks, the suggestion that that many of us have that taking medicine for mental health is bad, the idea that only really messed up people go to professional counseling, which I didn't hold, but it's very prominent. The idea that when we are experiencing problems as Christians, which I strongly identified as a conservative evangelical. I was confused about what those things meant, but that's how I self-identified. And that's the community I was surrounded by. That even for those who said mental health counseling was a good idea, there was still the idea that that was just for a short time, because what you really needed to get to was the root sin issue, which was causing the mental health issue, and take the sin issue to the Lord, and then that is what was going to resolve the conflict. And the idea that losing weight is a good thing, that thin is better than fat, that certain diets are better than other diets, that certain activity is better than other activity, the moral implication to non-moral issues, all of those kept me from seeing what eventually revealed itself to be PTSD. So I am going to go work out now, because life is is asking a lot of me right now. And so I am trying to give my body what it is asking for. And part of what it's asking for is to just get out there and expend some of this nervous energy. But I also have a professional counselor who I see. I also am addressing this issue through nutrition with my nutritionist, not with a goal of losing weight, but instead with a goal of helping my body manage current stress. But my big life goal now, as it pertains to these issues, is not to manage stress, but instead to reduce, to eliminate contaminants, to assert boundaries, to fix what I can so that I'm not asking so much of my body. And maybe after that, I'll keep running every day. I think I generally sleep better and focus better if I do have physical activity several times a week. But I don't want to assert, oh, look what I did. I don't want to assert that it is better morally. I don't want to go work out because I feel nervous if I haven't. I feel as though there's something unchecked off my list if I haven't worked out. I don't want to go into physical activity because I feel shamed if I didn't. And I don't want to believe that a thin version of me is better than a fat version of me, or that a pretty version of me is better than an ugly version of me. I don't want to place any value in those versions. I want instead my efforts to be, I am the empowered version of me. I am the focused version of me. I'm the loving version of me. I am the kind version of me. I am the ethical version of me. Maybe I repeated that. I don't know. And those things might be helped by activity and nutrition. But I think it's an important distinction to make. So that was not 5 minutes. That was 17 minutes. I don't know if you watched that. Maybe I'll turn it into a blog that makes more sense. But I'm just going to post this and then I'm going to go run. So maybe I'll see you later. And I probably love you. If you just watch 17 minutes of a video, I feel strongly, positively toward you. So I'm just going to say, I love you. I feel really good about that being a way to sign off. And maybe we'll talk soon.